Welcome back. We're the Bourbon Junkies. Cheers.
Cheers.
We're going to talk about some of our favorite distillery experiences.
Yeah.
And or maybe where you should visit.
Yep. I mean, honestly, like, it's a question we often get is like, hey, if I'm going to Kentucky or I'm going to the Whiskey Trail or I'm going to blah, blah, blah.
What places would you guys recommend going to?
Visit.
Easy.
It could be that they have a cool bar. It could be that they have great tours. Sometimes it's like if you get to go do a pick there, their pick program's awesome, like how they manage it.
We have not been to everywhere. We will say that. We've
Really,
never been to Makers.
Before we go too fast, high hopes on it. Experience and barrel pick program, hard truth. Before we go. Before 100%. We go, I'm just saying expectations are solid. We're staying the night there.
Okay.
They have side-by-sides.
Yeah.
We can drive them.
Go hang out. Do a whole.
We're gonna do a barrel pick.
Very our style type of thing.
It's country shit.
Hang on out.
When I was driving back up from Kentucky, there were signs everywhere in Indiana, because obviously there were signs everywhere in Indiana that said rated #1 experience distillery. And then they had pictures of the side-by-sides, the cabin, all the stuff. So anyways.
#1 for me.
Yep.
Starlight.
Same.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
I mean, if you can go there during like any sort of harvest, so they've got.
Go there not in the winter.
Yeah.
Yep. So the difference, not everybody knows, Starlight is owned by the Hubers, and Hubers also own a vineyard.
Yes.
And they also own, I believe, a few hundred acres of land.
They've got a farm.
So there's, last time, like the one time we were there, we're out in the side-by-sides with them, picking strawberries and peaches.
Strawberries,
eating them.
peaches off the tree, blueberries,
awesome.
Everything.
The strawberries are the best strawberry I've ever had in my life, swear to God.
My God, I think that about the peaches.
Starlight's really cool because, from even a tour, if you get to do a pick there, it's even cooler.
Yes.
But the tour is fantastic. They also have a bakery and ice cream shop on site.
Oh my God.
Their restaurant, solid pizza.
Yeah.
Very solid pizza.
Everything about that place, phenomenal.
You will be treated like your family when you're there, which is incredible. I would put Starlight truthfully as #1 as well.
Yeah.
Same exact
as
thing.
a walk-in distillery tour, going around, seeing all their shit.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
If you get to do a pick, 100% Starlight's one of the best places in the country we've ever been to do a pick at. Also, the tour when it's warm out is
so much better.
Unlike most tours.
Yeah.
So, next one, #2.
Go ahead.
For me, Buffalo Trace. It has to be. It has to be, though.
Yeah.
Because
Well, I put an asterisk on this.
Okay.
But go ahead.
No, you will never go to another distillery like Buffalo Trace in your life. Ever. No matter where you go. Because there are other distilleries that are just as big. Jack, huge.
Enormous.
Beam is gigantic. We've never even been there, but I've seen Beam. I drove by it the other day. Humongous, obviously. Yeah. Buffalo Trace is a village. It's cool. They have their own stop signs. They got their own trucks.
Yeah.
Like they have their own everything.
It's a village.
And it's like legitimately, it's so hard to describe the scale of Buffalo Trace as a site, as a location, that they will let you walk around. Because I know a lot of distilleries are probably as big, or they're probably maybe even a few bigger.
Yeah.
I don't know that you often just get to kind of stroll property, right? And so
see different things.
I think Buffalo Trace pick experience, not the best one, not even remotely close, not even a top 5.
Starlight would be
also probably #1.
Probably #1.
Yeah, Backbone's up there on pick experience too. But I will say, I'm going to visit a Kentucky distillery, and I'm gonna go pay for a tour.
Yeah.
The gift shop in Buffalo Trace is, after you're done with the tour, always has whiskey in it, which is cool.
Yeah.
Often has whiskey in it like you might not find where you're at, which is just like a Buffalo Trace or a Blanton's or an ACA or a small batch, stuff like that. Maybe Eagle Rare, whatever. But I just think it's such a cool place to visit because when you get there, it feels old.
Yeah.
It feels like it's been around for a couple hundred years. And
Easy.
Everybody you walk by will be smiling,
happy,
will be chatting, will be hanging out, having a good time.
Those are the people that we talk about, like being happy in whiskey and just being like, they're the greeter.
Yep.
Like, hey, what are you here for? Pick, whatever. Guest experiences that way. Happy.
They're great. It's just it's such a cool.
It's a cool vibe.
It's a cool place. And if you've never been there, it's not on Whiskey Row. It's not on the trail or whatever.
Yeah.
Not any of those things. It's in Frankfort, Kentucky, and it's freaking awesome, truthfully. So, all right, #3. If I'm going straight tour, it's going to be Whiskey Row's Old Forester.
Oh.
That was a very cool tour.
Yeah,
I very much enjoyed that tour.
Okay. You get to try through everything.
You get to see the cooperage, which isn't their full cooperage, but you get to see that, and you don't often get to see that at all. You get to see their fermentation tanks. Remember walking in, we were both like, it smells like fucking bananas.
Yeah.
That was cool because we always get banana on Old Forester, and just kind of finally made a connection.
Yeah.
That was cool. They're still there is, I don't know if God built it or the people who built the pyramids built it, aliens, whoever.
Yeah.
That still is wild. And it's in the middle of downtown Louisville, which is wilder. The old building's super old, and I think what's really interesting about that place, it is one of the very few conditioned barrel houses we've ever been in.
I was gonna say, I think that's one of their original locations that they had under the brand back through Prohibition.
Is that really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm 90-ish% sure.
90's pretty high.
They owned that place during Prohibition.
Okay.
And that was where they were doing distilling, and they used to like roll them on down to the river from there. I could be
that's really cool.
Wildly wrong, but in my mind, that's correct. So I like that place because of that.
That's fair. They do it different. Not everybody uses metal rick houses.
Yeah.
Very few people that we've been to use metal rick houses. They do that there. You get to tour that there. They heat cycle there. Not a ton of people do that. You get to see their heat cycling process there, which is very cool. They do stuff there differently than a lot of distilleries and stuff. I think that makes it different and interesting and cool.
My number 3 is Jack Daniel's.
Jack Daniel's is awesome. That was Jack Daniel's was top 5.
That was another one that we've done probably 3 or 4 different tours, and have had different tour guides giving kind of the same tour, but they're always a little different. Yep. They have a very rich history.
They have a spring.
They do have the spring.
It's so cool, actually.
Yeah.
I know it's silly, but it's cool.
Everything about that place just is welcoming.
Yeah.
You go there, you have a good time.
That's village-esque as well.
Yeah.
It's not to the same level as Buffalo Trace from that feeling.
Yeah.
But even though I think they produce more whiskey, I think. But
I don't know if anyone inside of the United States.
I think Beam's the only one. I think Beam does.
Oh, maybe.
But they would be
close.
It's just those two though.
Yeah.
It's nobody else, I don't think.
No.
But Jack is very village-esque, very town-like.
Yeah.
Which is super cool because not a lot of places are like
Lynchburg,
that. Yeah, all of
just
Lynchburg.
Jack Daniel's.
Yeah.
You go downtown, you can eat and see all the different like shops and shit like that. Walk around, and everyone wants to talk to you about Jack Daniel's.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It is very cool. My number 4 was basically tied for number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Bardstown.
Mine too.
There's no other distillery in the country that we've been to that has implemented technology at a scale and in a way that Bardstown has done.
Yes.
With distilling.
Yeah.
I think when you go to Bardstown, it's the first time you go somewhere and go, oh, they know about technology. They know what we've been to. Bullet was technologically forward for sure.
Very, very, very much.
The scale of Bardstown is absolutely astronomical.
Insane. Yeah.
We were with Nick Smith, and he's a great dude, and he was so nice, and he was so kind, and he was, come to find out, an absolute genius, actual genius. Showed us all of the things that seemingly he put into place or configured or whatever, helped engineer and develop. That place, every single thing is thought out.
Yeah.
Like precisely and exactly. That place is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It genuinely,
so
from a tour perspective.
That tour, that we had there, just walking through and seeing everything from fermentation, distillation, like all the cooperage shit, like how they fill barrels, and it was like, you guys are built for efficiency.
Yeah, you're built for doing a million of this every day.
How efficient it is wild.
When you go to Bardstown, realize that brand is 7 years old.
Yeah.
8 years old.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? How'd this get here in 8 years? Also, Bardstown has one of the better restaurants anywhere in that vicinity. Maybe the best one. Bardstown's bad. The food at Bardstown's absolutely ridiculous. Bardstown's food's ridiculous, so you can go to lunch there, which is super cool. Just an added bonus. You can do a tour and lunch. Also, Bardstown's bar, insane.
Yeah.
Also, Bardstown's vintage library.
Wild shit on there.
Holy shit. Bardstown's a one-stop shop.
Yeah. I didn't even think of that.
Other thing is, Bardstown's gift shop sells people that they contract and still in bottle for.
Yep.
Not everybody, but some.
Yep.
So you could go into Bardstown and buy other people's bottles, which is another feature that most places actually don't have. So, number 5 for me will maybe be based purely on a pick experience. I would, because I'm with you on Jack. I'm not removing Jack from the list because we just agreed on Jack Daniels. 5 is Ben Holladay.
Barrel King would be like up there for me.
Oh, but that's not so toury.
Yeah.
You're not gonna go tour Barrel King.
No.
You want to go hang out?
Yeah.
Fucking Barrel King.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
If you want to go hang out, now mind you, we're deep Missouri.
Yeah.
We're
in Bourbon, Missouri. We're hanging on out.
If you want to hang,
you can go in there. You can probably see Jared hanging out in there doing stuff. Rachel's always there.
That's a good point.
So like for
That's a really good
me,
point.
like
that's a hang though.
Seeing people that are producing the whiskey that I'm drinking.
Yeah,
I
that's
would put
cool.
Barrel
That's
King
fair.
up there for me. Like,
That's fair. Well, because he's specifically blending all of it.
He's always
basically.
there. He's doing things. I love Barrel King.
From a hang perspective, I'm with you 100% on Barrel King.
Distillery tour is going to be very short.
Yeah.
Because you're going to see the 2 rooms they have.
You might be drunk at the end though.
Yeah.
You might be drunk.
I'm really going to enjoy my time there.
Jared also got some monster barrels.
Yeah.
He has some crazy shit.
I'm really going to enjoy my time that I am there at Barrel King.
That's true. Ben Holladay,
really good.
Great people.
Yeah.
Way not what you would expect.
Beautiful fucking place.
And it's tied with one other brand, and it's solely because of people.
Yeah.
Tied with Green River.
Yeah.
Ben Holladay, a campus you would never expect.
Dude, it is.
We were blown
gorgeous.
away. We had no idea what. When we drove in, we were like, "What the fuck?"
I flew the drone up, and like we're rolling around, and I go, "Why this? Like it looks like Kentucky.
Yeah.
Like it's beautiful.
In
it's
Missouri.
so green and
The
just
best
rolling
manicured
hills.
lawns of all time. Had a good pick experience there,
100%.
which was awesome.
Yeah.
They have the cave.
They got the cave.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
They have a bar, and that bar has all their cave shit on it, which is also cool. That place feels very homey.
Yeah.
But the campus is actually a lot bigger than it seems like it would be.
But when you go there, you can do a tour. You can like see operation, but you see like the old buildings, and you go in, and you're like, that's just fun.
Yeah.
Like it feels like you step back in history.
That's
to like go into that building. And you're like, this feels ancient.
It does, and they want it. They want that, which is like the whole time we were there with them, they were preaching. This is how they used to distill. This is how they fermented. This is how they. And now they've upgraded things to make it workable and efficient, and the whiskey tastes whatever. But they're like very intentionally trying to keep all of that tradition there.
Yeah.
That Ben Holladay, I don't want to say this is the only one. In my brain right now, off the top of my head, Ben Holladay is the only smaller or craft distillery that feels like legacy that I've ever been to. I just love that place. We had a good group there. We had Porter too. We had Alves there with us.
It's just a weird mix between like legacy and new age.
Craft,
like 100%. Like you see the big upgrades that are doing, like what you're talking about, like redoing the buildings to fit new fermentation tanks in there. Like it's very cool.
But those were the same buildings they actually used to ferment in. So they need tanks that aren't this big around anymore. But truthfully, Ben Holladay was one of the most unique ones because our expectation was very different because it felt like a craft distillery.
1,000,000%.
You get there and it feels very much like legacy.
Yeah.
You're in old houses. The house that the gift shop and the bar and all that stuff's in.
Beautiful.
An old house that they like renovated the inside. It's gorgeous. It's just that was a very unique experience, and it's in Missouri. It's not Kentucky, which is cool. It's cool to see somewhere outside Kentucky feel like literally Kentucky legacy.
Yeah.
And then to move on, which you said we were going to say, Green River is legitimately legacy.
Yeah.
Green River is legitimately ancient.
Yep.
They have one of the coolest brick structures I've ever seen in the distillery, which is that chimney.
I think
they told us
they were doing like the clay bricks on all their barrel storage because they breathe a lot more. So you get a lot more like movement of air in and out.
I almost died at Green River. Got very sick, motion sick. You guys all did a tour.
Yeah.
This is something very unrequired and unnecessary from any distillery of all time. There's no need or reason for them to do this other than just being humans.
Yeah.
We were there. I get sick. Karen.
They took care of you.
Pulls me aside. Lets me go sleep in a conference room on a couch.
That they use for picks.
Yep.
Yep.
And shuts the curtains. I take a nap. You guys, while I'm obviously taking that, because it's the only way to recover from motion sickness.
So heavy bias in all this list, by the way.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. If you're cool, you're cool. Thanks for being cool.
Yeah.
I got sick. I got to take a nap. You guys went and did the tour, a full tour.
Yep.
And then you did the pick. Mm-hmm. I wake up from the nap and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can at least operate as a human.
I can walk
beautiful.
again. Yeah,
without vomiting instantly. I come downstairs and we're there in like a Tuesday in the middle of the day or whatever day it was, and it's obviously not super busy. I walk downstairs and I walk over to the bartender and I was like, hey, I'm with that pick group, any chance? You know where they're at? And he goes, oh, are you feeling better? And I'm like, oh, everybody knows now.
Yeah.
And the whole world here knows. And he goes, I think they're just finishing up. Let me run you out there. He runs me out to the barrel house. Didn't have to do that at all. Not his job.
Never known this man to run.
That's fair. He jogs me. I walk quickly out to the barrel house. We walk out to the barrel house. Also gives me a ginger ale, by the way. We walk out to the barrel house.
As you should.
We get out there. You guys had already got it down to, you guys already picked one or said it was down to 2 or something. Smelled both of them and it was like, whichever one you pick is great because these both are fucking awesome. And then the tour and everything's over. And Karen goes, do you want a quick tour because you missed it?
Good people.
I don't know. They're not a shit ton of people that we've been to a corporate place where they would have done that.
Yeah.
She gave me, I'm sure, a condensed tour. As far as I'm concerned, it was a great tour.
Yeah.
And just the kindest, the nicest people. They went out of their way to help us out, went out of their way to take care of the group, went out of their way to do the things I asked for Kelvin barrels for the barrel pick. They made that happen.
Yeah. So if you're looking for a couple places that aren't on the Bourbon Trail, you can look over these places.
Yeah. Those are
couple on, couple
There's
off.
some awesome places. They really are. Honestly, a lot of places are really cool.
Yeah.
Truthfully, most places are actually pretty great.
Yeah.
If you want to go do a pick, go to Backbone too.
Yeah. No one's a lot of fun.
No one's awesome. All right, we're the Bourbon Junkies.
Proof is in the pour. I look for it. I go, what's the proof in?
Oh.
The pour.
Oh no.
What's the proof in?
Where's the proof at?